I've done a little bit more on the brown areas of this calf, and now I'm going to start to work on the white areas. So I start with the darkest areas, the shadows, and I've mixed just Mars Black with titanium white. Mars Black, as you can see in this, if it's showing up on the camera here, it's really almost like a dark, dark blue. If I wanted something a little bit more neutral, I could vary the mixture with other colors, or I could just pick up a tube of neutral gray. And that can even be used for variation. Let me grab that and I'll see what it looks like. A little darker along the bottom. Just dipping back and forth into previous mixtures. Sometimes it's easiest to judge if you just apply the color and then go back afterwards and soften a few edges. And by doing all these shadows first like this, it forces you to determine what areas are in shadow and which are in light, and then keep the values correct in each area. As always, I'm going to do my background at the end. These little hooves will be a different color mixture, so just putting in a few touches of these current colors to keep it cohesive. I'm obviously not going to finish this in a 15-minute video, so I will post a picture of the finished painting at the end of this blog post. Just using Q-tips dipped in water to clean up a few little edges if I go where I don't want to. Excuse me, I've had a bout of bronchitis and I still got some throat issues. So now that I've got the darkest areas of shadows done, on the legs. I'll work on the face. In areas like this where you've got a really dark area meeting a very light area, much lighter area, that's where you can give the illusion of the hair. And then you don't have to paint every single hair. This is just a soft white synthetic brush. It happens to be a Heinz Jordan 970, but any soft white synthetic would work, or even a colored synthetic. It's just a synthetic brush. They work well for acrylics because they're soft and because they don't disintegrate in water like the bristle brushes do. Of course, I don't mean that literally, it's just that the bristle brushes don't last real long for water-based paints. His little shadow under his chin. Let's do a little bit of a warm color under there just to give the illusion of reflecting from the ground. Keeping the values the same, just adding a little bit of the previous mixtures. Okay, rinse out, and then I will go ahead and do the lighter color of the shadows. Quite a lot of blue happening in that mixture. I actually added some ultramarine blue to it. So I think I will mix up another color that is just the neutral gray mixed with white. Bear with me while I do that. One more little area of the darker one up here before I switch to the lighter. If there's any areas that'll be more blue, it would be up here where the sky was reflecting. Okay, now for that next color I've mixed. Okay, here we go. And if it's standing out too much, back to the previous mixture. But acrylics tend to dry a little bit darker. Okay, let's go along the edge here. So after I finish this whole step of the next value in the shadow, I will refine if it needs subtle variation where it meets the brown. And then I will come in and do my lightest color, which will be almost white. Maybe I'll put a little yellow in it to keep the little guy kind of warm. And then the very lightest whites saved for the last. And by having a significant jump from the shadow color to the highlights, you'll get the illusion of really strong sunlight. So as I mentioned, I will post a picture of the finished painting when it's done. I didn't mention this little guy is 9 by 12, or I guess 12 by 9 if you're putting the measurements in the correct order. A little more on his face, and then I will shut it down for now before I get all twisty from trying to work around this camera. Okay, I will continue along with the details and I'll get back with a finished photo.